World richest billionaires who contributed huge funds to COVID-19 pandemics. Number 1. Silvio Berlusconi. Silvio Berlusconi is a three-time Prime Minister of Italy and current member of the European Parliament who gave $10.7 million €10 million to the region of Lombardy, destined for the new hospital that will be built in the former Fiera Milano exhibition grounds in Milan. Number 2. The Agnelli family. The Agnelli family, who runs the Fiat Chrysler Group and football club Juventus, pledged €10 million to help support the Italian National Health Service in Turin and the Piedmont region. Their family holding company Exeter purchased 150 artificial respirators for Italian hospitals. Number 3. Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg is a media billionaire and philanthropist who partnered with WHO and global health organization Vital Strategies to launch a $40 million initiative to prevent or slow the spread of COVID-19 in low and middle-income countries, especially in Africa. In the US, the foundation, together with the National League of Cities, launched a local action tracker to collect and share actions taken by US leaders in response to COVID-19. Bloomberg Philanthropy's website states that it also joined with more than 20 other philanthropic funders to launch the NYC COVID-19 Response and Impact Fund to support New York City-based small and mid-size social services and arts and cultural nonprofit organizations that have been affected by the current coronavirus crisis. The new fund, which currently has over $78 million, will provide grants and interest-free loans to help these organizations respond to emerging needs, cover losses associated with the disruption of their operations, and help them continue their critical work. Number 4. Jack Ma. Jack Ma, co-founder of Alibaba, has been vocal and openly supportive of the fight against COVID-19. The Alibaba co-founder has pledged $14 million to help develop a COVID-19 vaccine. On March 13, he announced he would be donating 500,000 testing kits and 1 million face masks to the US and sent medical supplies and tests to Italy, as well as essential medical supplies to 7 more countries: Azerbaijan, Bhutan, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam. Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines too have received medical supplies donated by the Jack Ma Foundation and Alibaba Foundation. Both foundations also recently established the Global Medi-Exchange for combating COVID-19 to help doctors across the world share best practices during the pandemic. Number 5. Giorgio Armani. Giorgio Armani is a fashion designer who just only showcased his recent show behind closed doors on February 23 with live streaming options. The Armani Group has donated about €2 million to several hospitals in Milan and Tuscany, to the Lazzaro Spallanzani National Institute for Infectious Disease in Rome, and to the Italian Civil Protection Agency. The group also converted all 4 of its production sites in Italy to manufacture single-use medical overalls for healthcare providers fighting COVID-19. Number 6. Michael Dell. Michael Dell, known for his philanthropic ways, has donated $284,000 to provide medical supplies such as surgical masks to hospitals in China and $853,000 worth of IT services to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Hubei province. Worldwide, the Dell company has also set aside $3 million in funds and in-kind technology donations to help COVID-19 efforts, and agreed to match employee donations to the CDC Foundation's Emergency Response Fund, up to $10,000 per employee. "We are all in this together. Be safe and take care of each other," he recently tweeted. Number 7. Remo Ruffini. The chairman and CEO of luxury sportswear brand Moncler contributed $10.9 million to the authorities in the hard-hit region of Lombardy, Italy, for the construction of a new hospital which will house over 400 intensive care units. The new facility will be located in an area formerly home to the Fiera Milano Exhibition Center. Milan is a city that has given us all an extraordinary time. We cannot and must not abandon it. It is everyone's duty to give back to the city what it has given us so far, Ruffini said in a statement. The Financial Times reported that Moncler is the second most profitable fashion brand after Hermes in terms of operating profit based on full-year results. Number 8, Sheryl Sandberg. Facebook's chief operating officer and her fiancé Tom Bernthal contributed $1 million for an emergency food bank for the San Francisco Bay Area and partnered with other tech billionaires including LinkedIn's Reid Hoffman, Workday's Anil Busri and Intuit's Scott Cook for an additional $6 million. About $200,000 in donations were raised via a Facebook fundraiser as well. Number 9, Bill Gates. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation launched the COVID-19 Therapeutics Accelerator, a partnership with Wellcome, a health research nonprofit, and MasterCard that hopes to develop and make widely available COVID-19 medications. Supported by $125 million, both from new funding and money already set aside to target the coronavirus outbreak, the accelerator will assist long-term in finding an effective treatment to those in urgent need and aid their recovery. Another fund set up by the foundation is the Combating COVID-19 Fund, which uses diagnostic tools to identify cases and stop the spread, assist in finding a vaccine, identify and develop new treatments and help communities around the world and their healthcare systems battle the pandemic. Number 10, Richard Branson. The airline mogul received criticism for asking staff at his Virgin Atlantic airline to take 8 weeks of unpaid leave but announced later on March 22 that Virgin Atlantic would set aside $250 million to support his over 70,000 employees across 35 countries. This news comes after Branson launched a new luxury cruise line, Virgin Voyagers. Sail with caution, we say. We all know what happened to cruise ships like the Diamond Princess, Zondam, and Ruby Princess and its passengers. Number 11, Li Ka-shing. Hong Kong is another country that has been hit hard, not only by COVID-19 but also by their ongoing protests. According to Forbes, Asia's most influential investor donated $13 million in February to help Wuhan, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. The Li Ka-shing Foundation has distributed 250,000 face masks to 13 social welfare organizations and homes for the elderly in Hong Kong, while their website mentions that it is working to source personal protective equipment, PPE, from all over the world in hope of providing additional support to Hong Kong's frontline healthcare teams. Number 12, Mark Zuckerberg. On March 17, Facebook announced a $100 million grant to aid small businesses impacted by COVID-19 and has also committed to match $20 million in donations to the United Nations Foundation, WHO and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, CDC. Following that, on March 21, Zuckerberg announced that Facebook would donate its emergency reserve of 720,000 masks to health workers purchased in the event that the California wildfires continued and would work to source millions more to donate. The 35-year-old also updated on his Facebook status that he and his wife Priscilla were committing $10 million to the CDC Foundation's Combat Coronavirus fundraiser, where all funds will go to fighting the outbreak, including sourcing medical supplies and increasing lab capacity. On March 27, he announced his commitment of $25 million to accelerate the development of treatments for COVID-19, partnering with others including the Gates Foundation, to quickly evaluate the most promising existing drugs to see which ones might be effective at preventing and treating the coronavirus. Number 13, Jeff Bezos. According to Forbes, Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, has donated $1 million to emergency COVID-19 funds in the Washington, D.C. region, created a $5 million relief fund for small businesses and contributed $1 million to a new Seattle foundation to help those affected by COVID-19. On April 2, Bezos posted an update on his Instagram to declare that he is gifting Feeding America $100 million to support those on the front lines of the US food banks and those who in need of food. The funds will be distributed to Feeding America's national network of food banks and food pantries, getting food to those countless families who need it. Food banks have been relying on food donations from restaurants, and at a time where they are now ordered to close or reduce their services, families and individuals who would have gone hungry now will be able to turn to food banks for support.